Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Planescape Torment. Let's go ahead and continue to talk to people. Let's see, we talked to you. There was no one in there other than the armoire. We got Juliet here, who's pouting. This dark-haired... Okay, game, if you say so. This dark-haired young woman is staring listlessly off into space, sighing miserably and occasionally picking at the seams of her green velvet gown. Well, at least I got that right. It's difficult to discern whether she's depressed or simply bored. Greetings! She gives you only the briefest of glances before staring off into the distance once more. Greetings, yes. I'm named Juliet. How may I... Oh, never thou mind. Leave me be, please. She gives an exasperated sigh. What's wrong? Oh, nothing at all. Only that I spend my days gazing into the face of mediocrity, seeing if anything can erase its dreadful, tedious passage. Is your life so tedious? Why don't you get some good books? I got a nice 1,000-page book on Akkadian writing if you want that. It's pretty good. Alas, it is, she sighs, closing her eyes and massaging her temples. Dreadfully boring. Perhaps I could make your life less boring for you, my lady. No, 'tis kind of thee to offer, though. I am already with a man, sir, and I do love him dearly. 'Tis just that I wish... She taps her finger against her chin. Something more of our liaison. Is the relationship lacking, then? Well, it looks like the Nameless One is going to be a relationship columnist advice person now. The only thing it lacks is excitement, sir. Our families took the news of our courtship splendidly. His siblings love my siblings, and our friends think our union to be blessed by the powers themselves. All fine and good, but things are going, she frowns, so smoothly. 'Tis not right to have such a trouble-free courtship. Oh, I don't know about that. Dost thou not? Hast thou ever had such a courtship? Well, I can't actually answer that because I don't recall. 'Twould seem that thy life is filled with a variety of problems, judging by the pallor of thy skin. That's not something I care to speak of. I can't remember any courtships I have had. The remnants of the ones I have encountered suggest that I may have had some problems. 'Tis just that all my friends have such interesting relationships. One's fraught with turmoil, feuding families, daggers at one another's backs, poison, mad siblings, and irate fathers with large swords. I have a lover whose family loves me, and whom the world loves. She sighs again. A great source of annoyance. How I wish I could formulate some way to spice things up. Well, first of all, I would say that you're probably rather blessed. If you want some spices, why don't you go on a vacation or something? Go to some interesting places, do some interesting things. Mort floats close to you, whispering, I feel sorry for her lover. He doesn't know how bad he has it. And shit like this is nothing but trouble. That doesn't sound wise, Juliet. Relish what you have. Yeah, I like this option. I wish to experience troubles, though. Yeah, Ireland had that, and I don't think you want that. I wish to experience what the up and downs of courtship, but with him and no other, she sighs. Such a thing as love. It can be as dull as a club and is of no use to an aspiring sensate. What did you have in mind to spice things up? I'm not sure. Some element of danger or jealousy, something intense. Why don't you have an affair? Why don't you make up some fake love letters from a hidden affair? I can pretend to be a jealous suitor if you want. Well, let's see. So an affair might permanently wreck the relationship. To a certain extent, so might the fake love letters from a hidden affair. Now, this seems like the best option, pretending to be a jealous suitor. You know, someone who wants her that she doesn't want. That way it's nothing that she has done that has caused a problem. You know, it's unwanted attention. if we're gonna go this route, this seems like the best option. Juliet glances at you, then scoffs. Oh, I wholly doubt that... Actually, that idea is not half as adult as I had first thought. That does certainly look dangerous enough. She looks you in the eye, as if appraising a horse. Are those rugged and tough as thy appearance would indicate? They don't make them any tougher than me, I assure you. Nah, yes, I am. Go with that. Thou shalt do this for me, then? Yeah, I'll do it. Excellent, my love, Montague. Seriously, Montague? Oh my god! That just hit me right now. Game. Excellent. My love Montague may be found within the Civic Fest Hall. I thank thee. Of course, I'll go speak to him.
Updated
Farewell.
my journal.
But first of all... Oh. Okay. I guess I can't get any more information out of her yet. Hello, Nenny Nine Eyes. It's an interesting name. This petite, attractive young woman is smiling blissfully and humming to herself. Her wide, pale blue eyes seem to constantly drink in her surroundings as she looks about. Greetings! The smiling young woman curtsies gracefully and looks up to you, smiling. Well met, good sir. I'm Nenny, and how are you this fine day? She suddenly notices your scars and places a gloved hand over her mouth. Oh my, you're hurt! She blinks. All over! Mort spins around you, mocking the girl's obviousness. Powers above, Chief. She's right. I never noticed that. I never noticed before. You're covered in scars. They're all old scars. I'm fine. Only slightly. I'll be all right. Pay no mind. I had some questions. No, they're all old scars. I'm fine. She nods quietly, lowering her hand. I had some questions. Huh? She can't seem to tear her eyes from your scars. Oh, how shameful of me. Don't mind my rude staring. I am named Nenny. She makes a little curtsy. And it is my great pleasure to welcome you to our brothel of the slaking... For the slaking... I keep wanting to say slake rather than slate. Shouldn't it be slaking? I think it should be. She returns to staring at your body. You have tattoos under those scars, too. What's that one? She points to one of your tattoos. Lady, eyes up here, please. That one's... Looks fascinating. Look at the way the lines of ink. I think that's ink. She squints at that tattoo, then reaches out to touch it. I'll allow her to touch you. I think that's ink. She traces a finger around the edge of the tattoo. Is it ink? And what a pattern. Look at the way the lines intersect here. She touches the center of the tattoo. That's simply amazing. She purses her lips and frowns in disappointment. I could make it out better if there weren't so many scars. There's nothing to be done about the scars. They're permanent. Are they really? I'm sure we could find some magic that could take care of them. Oh, I'm sorry. A pox on me for even mentioning them. She cringes. But I have to know. You are absolutely sure you're all right? I'm looking at you and I can't help but believe that you're not in some pain. None of the physical variety, really. I have amnesia, but that is all. I'll go with that. Amnesia? Nenny blinks, then brightens. Loss of memory. You are so lucky, she chimes perkily. Everything must be so new to you. That's an angle I hadn't considered. I like that option. Nenny claps her hands delightedly. I'm so pleased I could open your mind to that idea. I've heard that's what being a sensate is all about, bringing new experiences to others. Sensate? Sensates. Oh, they're so dreamy. They believe that you achieve understanding only through experiencing as much of the multiverse as possible. Taste this, listen to that, feel this, look at that. Where's the unmentioned have sex with that? No, not gonna go there? Okay. And there's so much out there. It's such a big place that it's difficult to take it all in sometimes. You should see Spelljammer. I had some other questions. Please ask, she smiles giddily. What are you doing here? I'm talking to you, silly. She giggles and pokes you in the belly. Just like I talk to all the patrons here. All the prostitutes do. That's what the brothel's about. learning new ways to talk and share experiences and understand other people. I had another question. Can you tell me about this place? Sure I can. The brothel for slating intellectual lusts is a school that was started by Mistress Fall from Grace. The prostitutes here, like me, are taught the ins and outs of talking to people, all to help us learn more about ourselves and others. I love it here. It's a non-stop wave of experiences crashing into me, filling my head with fresh new ideas. Mort mutters to himself, I guess it's good that there's something in there. I don't think she's actually as dumb as she's making out to me. I'm trying to find Vivian's scent. Do you know where it might be? Then he frowns deeply. What? Oh, I just can't say anything bad about anyone. I'm just no good at it. It's not bad to point out a thief, Nenny. Oh, but I don't know if she's a thief. Nenny bites her lip and looks at you with pleading eyes as if she just wishes you'd leave the topic alone. Look, why don't you try and say something not nice about her? Oh, all right. Then he puts her hands on her hips and frowns deeply, almost exaggeratedly. You resist the temptation to laugh. Ooh, I dislike her very, very much. She pauses for a moment, then looks at you out of the corner of her eye, as if gauging your reaction. Was that convincing? No, not really. Then he frowns. I knew I wouldn't be any good at this. She looks up at you, depressed. Do you know how hard it is to say bad things about someone? It feels so wrong. Why don't you practice on me, Nenny? I suppose I could try. She looks dubious. You big, mean, nasty brute. She puts her hands on her hips. Meanie. She looks at you. How was that? Try hitting me? Put more accent on brute. You big, mean, nasty brute. Better. Now hit me. Then he clamps her hands over her mouth, looking shocked. Oh, I couldn't. I mustn't. She blinks. How does one hit someone anyway? Go ahead. Do it lightly if you have to. Remember, I'm a mean, nasty brute. I deserve it. Okay. Then he slaps you. You barely feel it. She looks shocked and frightened she hurt you. Oh, I'm sorry. Did that hurt? Tell me you're okay. Ow, damn. Never have I been hit so hard. Don't break character, Nenny. Come on. Show me what you've got. You could say something bad. Just let it all out. Oh. She draws her tiny frame to its full height, balls her hands into fists, puts them on her hips, and scrunches up her face in a cute scowl. Oh, damned be you. You deserve that for all the indignities you put me through. Going out late at night. Her eyes roam up and down your body. Getting into fights and getting all scarred up. What are the kids going to think? Kids? No. Excellent. Oh, don't you excellent me, like I'm some backlicker looking for your approval. I am my own woman, and this woman is about to walk out of your life unless I get some solid commitment. Have you suddenly become gypsy? No. Calm down. Time to let go of the anger. Then he sighs tiredly. Phew, that was easier than I thought. No kidding. Oh, wow. 5,000 experience points for getting a woman to get angry with you. I'm sure I'll do better next time. I'm so excited to have learned something new. Thank you. Sure, I have a question now. Let's go back and ask about that again. Maybe. I saw that mean Marissa sneaking out of Vivian's room one night. Now, I'm not saying she took it, but I know Marissa's not a very nice person. And that sure sounds suspicious, huh? I'd go ask her about it. Nenny nods at you. Thanks, Nenny. I had another question. Do you know anything about Ravel Puzzlewell? Nope, sorry. That's a great name, though, huh? I'll bet she's a really interesting person. Hey, you should ask Eves about her. Eves collects all kinds of stories. Alright, that's all I wish.
I've learned some new tricks.
Hey! Anna has learned to be mean, just like Nenny, huh? Alright, level up. Fighter level, huh? Yes. Yep, fighter level. Sounds good to me. I'm still awful good. I'm fine with that.
I'm gone.
Alright. Who do we have here? Ah, hello, Dolphin. This striking young woman has skin the color of burnished copper. A translucent white dress held precariously by golden clasps is draped carefully over her shapely form. Greetings! Woman nods and smiles briefly. The scent of her hair, sweetly perfumed, fills your nostrils. I had some questions. How can I smell her hair? I mean, admittedly, I am really close to her, but still. She nods. Who are you? She smiles and curtsies, but offers no response. Can you speak? She shakes her head and smiles sadly at you. How are you supposed to carry on a conversation?
Updated my journal.
I love this shit already. Can you write then, or pantomime? Mort. She pouts, shaking her head. May I ask why you can't communicate? She sighs softly and nods. Actually, let me ask you about something else. Well, journal update. I love how that just, you know, like especially when you're down near the bottom of the screen, it just slowly drifts up off the screen. Let's see, that's the same thing. All right. Who are you? Okay. Can you tell me about this place? She looks at you and then raises an eyebrow. Okay. Do you know anything about Ravel Puzzlewell? Her eyes flash and she smiles. She nods at you. What? What do you know of her?
Updated my journal.
She simply looks at you. Trying to find Vivian's scent. Do you know where it might be? She shakes her head, shrugging, and gives you an apologetic look. That's all I wanted to know. Farewell. Okay, so do we have to find some way to get her to talk? Is that the case? Trying to remember if there was an option to leave this stuff on or not. Nope, doesn't look like it. No one's in there. Guys, open the door. Thank you. Nope. Nope. Hello? This fetching young woman has a faraway look in her soft, sea-green eyes. Greetings! Greetings, I am Eves the Tail Chaser. What a coincidence. I too chase tails. Anna, please smack him. I want you to smack him. This is the perfect opportunity to smack him. Eves continues unperturbed. Have you come to trade tales? Yeah, I'd like to trade tales. I would like that very much, yes. Tell her the story of you're waking up in the mortuary. Tell her the story of the Alley of Lingering Sighs. Tell her the story of Requin's curse. Ask one of your companions if they have a story to tell. Let's talk about this one. I mean, it's just like randomly there. Eves leans forward as you tell the tale of Requin's odoriferous curse. She seems to devour every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember this tale, and now I have one for you. The Gilded Tale. Go on. 500 experience points. Upon the plain of Isgard is the Gilded Hall, where those sensates that seek the pleasure of the gullet and loin can be found. They indulge these passions in earnest, never realizing that the doors of the hall never open and that there is no clear path back to the civic fest hall. They are unwanted sensates, the ones who do not truly believe in the faction, but instead seek only pleasure for pleasure's sake. Are prisoners who do not realize that they are such truly prisoners? Gilded Hall sounds like a, one of the, realms of the deity. I'm checking that right now. Because I think I've heard that one before. I mean, if it's a location in Planescape, then of course I would have heard it before. But alright, let's see. Where is that? There we go. I have a spreadsheet for all the 2nd edition deities. Let's see, Gilded Hall. Alright, nope. That is not a deity realm that I am aware of. So, I mean, there's plenty of other places in Asgard, of course. Or Eastgard. I have another tale to share with you. Tell her the story of your waking up in the mortuary. She leans forward as you tell the tale of your waking in the dustman's mortuary. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember this tale. I too will tell a tale of the dustman. Chapters of dust. Okay, go on. 500 experience points. There are chapters in the Dead Book, the massive tome which the dustmen keep that records the passing of all the lives into the eternal boundary. In this book there are chapters that are naught but dust, and it is believed that the names therein are lost souls who cannot die, but must suffer life eternally until history itself dies and grants them release. So what you're saying is that my name might be there. I have another tale. Tell her the story of the Alley of Lingering Sighs. Before I begin, I must ask, do you know what a modron is? Well, yes, now I do. Then I shall tell you the tale of the clock and the quadrone. Go on. Another 500 experience points. Once upon a time there existed a modron. It was newly created, its logic fresh and untested, and it had come to Sigil, following the commands of its modron superiors. Then it should be a monodrone, not a quadrone. Because that's how it works. If a quadrone is killed or destroyed or promoted, then a tridrone is promoted, and I don't forget, then a duodrone is promoted to replace that one, and then a monodrone is promoted to replace that one, and then a new monodrone is created. That's how it works. Go on. It knew nothing but commands and dictates of obedience and passing along the orders of superiors. For you see, modrons are only aware of the commands of their immediate superiors. They have no grasp of a higher authority. Until this one. Go on. One day it came upon a small shop, within which there was a small clock that could no longer tell time. It was cracked along the edges, the wheels of its hands broken. The modron immediately set itself to work at getting the parts to fix the broken clock. Go on. It made a new wooden housing for the clock's parts, replaced the bent springs, carefully filed and oiled the clockwork machinery, and carved new hands from its sparse metal available to it. The newly repaired clock's precise ticking reminded it of the great gears of Mechanis, and it comforted it as much as anything may comfort a modron. And what the modron never came to understand was that it truly loved this clock, and that it had worked on, and for reasons it could not explain, elected to remain in Sigil and be with the clock for the rest of its years. A heartwarming tale of a modron and its clock. It's pretty clocked up there. Let's see. Anyone else have a story? Mort, do you have a story to trade? Me? Why do I have to tell a story? Just tell a story, Mort. Fine, fine. An elderly man was sitting alone in a dark path, right? He wasn't certain of which direction to go on, and he'd forgotten both where he was traveling to and where he was. He'd sat down for a moment to rest his weary legs, and suddenly looked up to see an elderly woman before him. She grinned toothlessly and with a cackle spoke. Now, your third wish, what will it be? Go on, Mort. Third wish, the man was baffled. How could it be a third wish if I haven't had a first or second wish? You've had 2 wishes already, the hag said, but your second wish was for me to return everything to the way it was before you had made your first wish. That's why you remembered nothing, because everything is the way it was before you made any wishes. She cackled at the poor Burke. So it is that you have 1 wish left. All right, said the man. I don't believe this, but there's no harm in wishing. I wish to know who I am. Funny, said the old woman as she granted his wish and disappeared forever. That was your first wish. An interesting tale, Mort. Now I have one for you and your companion. The Fiend's Game. Go on. Hey, sweet. A fiend sometimes wanders the wilderness of a certain prime world in the guise of a friendly old man. One day he came upon some hunters in the wood. "What are you doing?" the fiend asked. The hunters told him, and the fiend nodded. "I have never been on a hunt before." The hunters invited the old man to come along, and the group eventually came upon a glade where several deer were grazing. The hunters carried crossbows, but did not fire, and the fiend asked them why. "They are unarmed," the hunters chuckled, patting their crossbows. "We hunt nothing that does not have the ability to defend itself. After all, where is the sport in that?" The fiend nodded at this and promptly gated in 3 of his fellows. The hunters led them on a merry chase, but eventually they were caught and eaten. Huh. I wonder what the fiend would have done if he had, the hunters had, attacked the deer. Alright. Who's next? Anna! "Aye, I'm a no good at telling such things, I'm not." She frowns and waves her hands as if trying to shoo away the idea. "Dinna be asking me for such nonsense now." Yves smiles at Anna. "But I would very much like to hear your story." "Just tell the story already, Anna. Please, share your story, Anna." "Come on already, fiendling. You already have one tale you won't part with." Anna looks uncomfortable, her tail lashing slowly back and forth. "Well, I know one story." She suddenly becomes angry, glaring at Yves. "But you might not like it, you won't. So don't be blaming me for you choking it out of me." "Go ahead, Anna." Anna scowls, then finally relents with an exasperated sigh. "I heard a story when I was a wee lass. This Burke's walking home real late, near Antipeak, and passing an old toothless crone in the dark and otherwise empty street. 'Where you going?' she asks him. 'Home to me wife and Kip,' he says. 'Near the slags?' she asks him. 'Sure enough,' he says. So she asks him for a favor, to take a box she's got to Deda's pit and give it to the woman there. Now this Burke's a real sap, too nice to say no, despite the fact he's sure something's not quite right about this old crone, and agrees. 'But what's the woman's name?' he asks. 'Where does she live? Where should I look for her if she's not by Deda's pit?' The woman hands him the box, a wooden thing wrapped in colored cloth, and tells him to just go and she'll be there. Finally, she warns him, and whatever he does, do not open the box. So he takes it home with him and hides it in the rafters, thinking he'll bring it to Deda's pit when it's light out. His wife, though, seeing him hide in the box, gets right jealous, thinking it's a gift for a lover or something, and opens it up as soon as he's not looking. Well, turns out the box was full of gouged out eyes and severed male members with the hair still on him. Her scream brought the Burke running. He remembered what the crone said, got right scared, and wrapped the box back up. He went out straight away to Deda's pit, and sure enough, there was another old hag waiting there for him. He hands her the box, and she says to him, "The box has been opened and looked into." The poor Burke tries to deny it, but she gets this dreadful look on her face. "Ye have done something horrible," she tells him, then disappears. That done, he hurries back to his kip. He's feeling ill when he gets back and takes to bed. His wife bitterly regretted opening the box and all, but it was too late. The next day, he died of a rotten disease, and the first things to go were his eyes and stem. Anna nods grimly, her tale complete. Yves smiles. "That was a wonderful tale, Anna. You should never hesitate to share it. Now I've one for you and your companion, the parched land. Once a large village was struck by a terrible drought. A farmer journeyed to the worshipping stone and again implored it as to the cause of the drought. He asked the stone why it did nothing when the fields were parched and dying, why the animals and the people suffered while the stone did not a thing. 'Have we not given enough offerings?' the farmer asked, begging almost upon his hands and knees. But the stone did not respond. It merely sat and cast its shadow." Oops. Was that it? I was kind of expecting the first option to be go on. Well. Okay, guess I have another tale from Dakon. Do you have a story to trade? Dakon nods solemnly. "I shall impart the tale of Alkali drowning. Dakon tells the story of Akalai, a foolish Githzerai of myth who had become lost in the chaos of limbo. Should be a capitalized L there. Normally, a single Githzerai may use their focus and mental discipline to form the chaos around them into a small, habitable environment. Akalai, however, asked so many useless and unfocused questions in her quest to return home that her isle of matter dissolved around her, and she drowned. Yves smiles. Fascinating, Dakon. I'm going to pronounce her name differently every time, I'm sure. Let me share with you and your companion another version of your tale that I have heard. Dakon looks attentive, and perhaps a little surprised. Go on. That's 500 experience points. Yves goes on to tell a different version of Dakon's tale, in which Akalai was driven from the Githzerai city of Shrakdlor for her constant, useless prattling. One day she encountered a Slotty on his way to the spawning stone. She hastily erected a wall of chaos matter, which even the ravenous Slotty found difficult to break down. Hungrily, it waited and spoke to her through the wall. She asked it questions, and as she became more absorbed in her pointless queries and the Slotty's answers, her own wall decayed and collapsed upon her, and thus she drowned in the matter of limbo. Don't actually have another tale, but... yeah, let's just ask you a question. Why are you called the Tail Chaser? Once upon a time, a girl came to an oracle who was rumored to know many things and asked of it a boon. Her life was in need of direction, so she asked this oracle as to what would give her purpose. Now, the oracle was not evil, but it was vague and tended towards drink, which caused it to be obscure in many matters of judgment and focus. Its only answer to the girl's question was that within one story that she would hear in her lifetime was the truth that she sought. The girl went off and collected stories, which she chases to this day, not knowing which of the thousands hold the truth. Such is the danger of a foolish question and the wisdom of an unspoken one. And with that, we have another question. What are you doing here? I collect tales and trade them with others who've tales of their own. I had another question. Can you tell me more about this place? That is part of Mistress Grace's story, which is not mine to tell. She has said that when she nears the end of her years, she shall tell me, and only if I pledge never to share it with another. I don't think succubi have a lifespan. I want to go whip open some Planescape material. She hopes that she will never need to tell me her tale, for she hopes that I will find my own story before that time and leave this place. I think she fears my life will be squandered in searching for this tale, and not acting upon what I already know. Yves sighs softly. But it cannot be helped. Your own story? Okay, wait, I had a question. Can you tell me one of the stories you've already shared again? What can you tell me about the silent prostitute? Ah.
Updated my journal.
Echo? Vez frowns, thinking. I once heard a tale of a girl who knew the word that, if spoken, would undo the multiverse. Perhaps this is Echo. Ask Delora, though. I understand that she sometimes meets with one who knew Echo before she stopped speaking. Okay. Trying to find Vivian's scent. Do you know where it might be?
Updated my journal.
Yves shakes her head. Speak with Nenny. She is forever pacing about, observing everything intently. And do you know anything about Ravel Puzzlewell? The tale of Ravel Puzzlewell, frightener of children, begins and ends with a question. What can change the nature of a man? Go on. Many were the times she posed this riddle to those who approached her, those who sought to glean from her the strange magics that she alone seemed to possess. All attempted to answer her query, but to no avail, and they found the price of their wrong answer to be some horrible fate, always more terrible than the last victims. To recount their various torments would be to speak of things that nightmares are woven from. Well, I could just go, deal with some Diaboli. That's fine. That's fine. Go on. The tale strikes me in this way. Ravel herself knew not the answer to this question, but she lusted for such an answer. Only the why of the matter remained in question. Why did the nature of a man matter to one of the Grey Sisters, especially to one of such power as Ravel? It is said that she put the question to the Lady of Pain, not directly, but shouted it to Sigil itself, daring for the lady to answer. When no reply was forthcoming, she wove terrible magics that threatened to open the cage and let the fury of the plains roll in like a wave. She received no answer other than banishment. To this day, no one knows the answer to Ravel's question. And now there is no one to petition, for Ravel herself is gone, lost to the plains.
Updated my journal.
Wait, there is more. Though my tale ends with Ravel's demise, there are some that claim the hag still lives. There's a silent prostitute here who once talked of such things, but she speaks no longer. If she would speak to you, she might tell you more of Ravel. Damn, I was doing so well up until talking to her. Okay, that's it. All right. Let me double check. Yep, nope, that is about the end of the episode. So when we come back, we'll see if we can find the scent, and we'll talk to Delora again, and I actually don't remember the name of the prostitute that we need to go talk to about the scent, but it's oddly darker. See if we can find her. I did not see her in this circuit of talking to people, but we'll see what we can find. See you in the next episode, everyone.